that you guys are able to hear this video that I'm about to play right here, okay? So let me know if y'all can hear the audio from this. Can y'all hear that little bit right there? Are y'all serious? Now, some people are saying all good. Some people are saying no. No way. No way. But I have a way of getting around that. I do have a way of getting around that. Give me a second here, because this is not about to go down. We not about to let this go down. We not about to let this go down, my friends. Don't worry. I got another way around it. See, you always try to have a little bit of a plan B when it comes to something like this, because YouTube knows what they're doing when it comes to stuff.
Noble Gold Investments just released his new book.
Like this.
Silver is...
Last year you said something about DEI.
It looks like my guy Kevin. I think that's my man Kevin. Now, y'all let me know. Do y'all want to see the screen like this right here? Or would you guys rather have it, you know, because it's going to be for y'all viewing prefaces, well, it disappear. Or would y'all rather have it where it's like this? You want it big like this, or you want me bigger, or you want them bigger? Y'all let me know, okay? Because I want y'all to be able to have it to where it's, you know, comfortable. You want, wait, closer. Look, either you want me be bigger or you want them bigger. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is what I'm liking right there. Okay. So you guys, now I want y'all to be able to hear this loud and clear as well. So I know my microphone might be a little louder to them, so you might have to make some adjustments, okay? So let's see if we do it like this right here. I want y'all to be able to hear this, okay?
Unqualified black pilots, you see a pilot on a black pilot. Don't you think it was an irresponsible statement suggesting that maybe these pilots aren't qualified?
Okay, we good. All right, let's get ready to get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all do not know this, let me give y'all a little bit of context first. Number one, people were going around saying that Charlie Kirk, pretty much, you know how they do. They said Charlie Kirk said that if a black person, if he sees the person that is a black pilot, he's going to question their qualifications. Look how racist he is. They roll with that. But again, I'm not the one you can pull those games on. Now, what's interesting, what I'm about to show you guys right here, Charlie Kirk is getting ready to get that question from a black person. And Charlie Kirk is going to give you context, and he's going to also let you know why he said what he said, versus somebody showing a clip of Charlie Kirk saying, if I see a black person that is a pilot, I'm going to question their qualifications, right? Let him be the one to explain what he meant by that, instead of you trying to drop a narrative in what you said, whether you are for Charlie Kirk or you were against Charlie Kirk. Let the person who said what they said be the one to clear the air on it, all right? Capiche? Let's go.
No.
DEI, unqualified black pilots, you see a pilot on a black pilot.
On Amazon.
Yeah, so last year you said something about DEI, unqualified black pilots, you see a pilot on a black pilot. Don't you think it was an irresponsible statement suggesting that maybe these pilots aren't qualified or unqualified?
No. But I'll tell you exactly what I said and why I said it.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, the pretext. I went through a whole windup.
I like what he did. Pretext. Come on, kids, the trolls and all you guys. He just said pretext.
Said United Airlines is saying that they want 40% of all their pilots to be people of color or women. We have learned that we have relaxed standards anytime that we try to reach racial quotas. Anytime we reach racial quotas, we relax the standards. Standards for air traffic control, professors, or college admissions. Therefore, when it comes to pilots or surgeons, if I see somebody who is black, as I said on the show, I'm going to hope that that person is qualified. That's what I said, which of course is legitimate.
You want to go back a little bit?
If I see somebody who is black, as I said on the show, I'm going to hope that that person is qualified.
Okay. Any questions? Was that racist to say that?
That's what I said, which of course is legitimate, because they're begging the question, we're not hiring based on merit anymore. We're hiring based on race.
Now,
So when you see a black pilot, you wonder, boy, is that person there because they earned it or because they were placed there? That's what DEI does. It makes you ask questions you otherwise would not ask.
That's it. This what a lot of people have a hard time doing. Why do some of y'all have a hard time? Why do y'all have a hard time saying what he just got done saying? Why do people have a hard time saying what he just said? It makes you wonder. It makes anybody wonder. If a company comes out and tell you we getting ready to have and hire an influx of black people or any color of people, and you find out that the standards got lower, you're going to be wondering the same thing too. Like, dang, did they actually do this? I mean, there's nothing wrong with questioning that, because you want to know, did the person get on based off of their qualifications and their skills, or did they get on simply because of standards being lowered and they got off based off their race? What's wrong with asking that? They don't ask when white people get hired on. That's not the question. That's not what it's about. So what you're telling me in your life, if you ever fly on planes, everybody, you're telling me all you ever seen are white pilots? Come on now. All you ever seen are white pilots. The issue that a lot of people don't understand is this. Those questions never would even come up in your head had they not did that. For example, I tell people that are about the other lifestyle, nobody cared that you were trans. Nobody cared that y'all were gay. Nobody cared that y'all were pansexual, asexual. Nobody cared what your pronouns were. If you was this, that. Nobody cared what any of those things are. But you did put a target on yourself when you, oh my God, I'm coming out of the closet, everybody. I'm gay. I just want to announce to the world that I'm gay. You come out. I have been trans, and I've known since I was a site, traveling down my mother's fallopian tube and going down into her uterus and planting myself in her uterine wall. I knew ever since then that I was, oh my God, guys, I have an announcement I want to make to everybody. I'm pansexual. Oh my God, it feels so good to say it right now. When you come out and you do and you say things like that, you make yourself a target for people that may have something against that. Right? So what I'm saying is this. Nobody questioned any pilot's qualifications until they made an announcement and pretty much said, we're going to have 40% of all of our pilots be black, and we're going to lower the standards and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It made you question, like, hey, did he have to go through what everybody else went through to do that? Or did they seriously just hire these people just because they're black? Isn't that discrimination? Isn't that a little racist? Who wouldn't question that? Oh, you just saying that? Be quiet. That's just a defense mechanism you have in your brain to say those type of things to me. You only saying that just because you trying to take up for the white man. You want to be white so bad. Come on, try that with another Negro. That doesn't work on me. Try it. Come on, try something original. At least come up with an original talking point. Let's keep going. If you haven't clicked that thumbs up button yet, make sure you do it.
So the airline industry is going to take an unqualified person just based off diversity.
Underqualified, not
underqualified. Underqualified, whatever.
No, it's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between unqualified and underqualified. Y'all ladies, y'all might get mad at this. I'm just telling y'all, look, I'm going to say this. I don't care. This is my show. Y'all might not agree with me. I don't believe that women should be out there being police officers and stuff. I really don't. When you show up, you go to arrest a man is not going to have no sort of any type of respect for you trying to arrest him as a woman. No man, no regular size, no man. If a woman shows up, two of y'all women can show up to go and confront any man that might be in a domestic issue or whatever like that. You show it to that man going to look at y'all women and be like, oh, like, is this a joke? If men will buck up against other men of equal strength or more strength than what they are, surely you as a woman, they're going to look at you like, girl, man, this a female cop. Come and try to arrest me. Come and try to take me down. You better go ahead and pull that taser out, honey. You better go ahead and do that because you are not about to physically. Come on now. There's all sorts of video. So all I'm saying is this. How would you come out? Ty, you're being sexist right now. Why? Because they had to fill a quota saying we got to have so many women working in the police force. So if you put out a quota saying we got to have so many women working in the police force, if I see any woman working as a police officer, I'm going to be like, did she do everything that all the other men have to do? She can do 20 pull-ups. 30 pull-ups. She can do 50 push-ups. She can carry a 100-pound to 150-pound dead weight man. She can really do. She can run and chase down these criminals. Come on now. She can physically take down a dude that's in a domestic violence with his wife. She can show up there and really try to handcuff and manhandle another man. Come on now. You gonna say no? Let's be real. Ty, there's some women who will stop. You can be Ronda Rousey as a police officer woman, and you can show up and look mean as you want to. A normal Joe man gonna look at you and be like, girl, stop. I don't care. You took down other women, but you're not about to knock me out. No, Ty, there's some women out there that can stop. Look, I'm just telling y'all the God honest truth. I keep myself in shape. I do all kinds of things. I do CrossFit maneuvers. I still can do somersaults, back handsprings. I still can do that as a 43-year-old man. You can go and get your best. You can go get Sheila, whatever. You can go get that black boxer named Shields, and it wouldn't even be. It would be easy. You can go get the #1 boxing female in the world right now, and I'm going to knock her out. It won't even be hard, not even remotely close to being hard. Ty, these women out there, dude, the harder she can hit a woman, I'm gonna have my hands up like this. She's not gonna be able to hit me hard to where I'm gonna be. Ty, there's some MMA women that will get knocked out by me. Come on now. I'm just keeping it real. So what I'm saying is that a lot of them get into these places like a fireman or police officers. And I'm just trying to keep it real, even in military now. Some women, if they're from afar and they're sniping, I get all that. But to get into physical altercations with men, nah. If I'm struggling with something and I'm holding a man down and me and this man fighting, somebody call 911 and I'm really having a hard time with a man, if a woman show up, I'm gonna be like, oh shoot. Like we both about to get beat up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, if somebody was to come out and call me a sexist, I'll be like, no, I'm not a sexist. I'm just telling the truth. You hire these women and you lower the standards of what it takes to be a police officer. You lower the standards of what it takes to be into the military. You lower the standards of what it takes to be a fireman so that women can get in there so y'all can fill a quota. By doing so, you can possibly endanger the lives of other people. I guarantee you, if a woman is getting her head bashed in and getting beat up by her boyfriend, by her husband, by another man who's trying to sexually assault her, if another woman showed up as a police officer, girl, just shoot him. You're not going to be able to physically, please shoot the man. You're not going to be able to physically take this man. Let me get back to the video, guys. Y'all let me get off into La La Land. Why y'all do that? Let's continue.
Uncertified.
Well, that makes you ask questions you otherwise would not ask.
So the airline industry is going to take an unqualified person just based off diversity.
Underqualified, not
correction, yeah.
Underqualified.
Unqualified, underqualified, whatever, uncertified, and put them in a cockpit and risk people's lives?
Those are two different things. Under and un are two different things. Of course, United Airlines will not take someone off the side of the street and put them into a pilot. But in order to reach a 40% goal, they might cut corners. They might accelerate the process in order to reach a goal. We know this through all sorts of DEI examinations and projects over the last 10 years. You have to choose in life. Either excellence or racial quotas will end up being the most important. And both cannot simultaneously exist. It's never happened before.
Okay, so when we talk about DEI, well, who benefits the most? Because black people really don't. It's only like maybe 3 to 4% of black people actually benefit from those programs. So who benefits the most?
I'm not sure your question. I mean, theoretically, if 40% of all pilots end up being black people or people of color.
But that's not. I actually looked it up. It's only like maybe about 6% of pilots
their
are black.
goal is for.
Let me address this real quick. Barbara says when it comes to the fire department, women have to pass the same physical as the men, but not the police. I saw a police officer the other day. He was barely 5 foot tall. What is that supposed to mean? But I bet you he can take I bet you he's stronger than any 5 foot woman. I bet you he's stronger than a 6 foot woman. You said barely 5 foot tall. Now, you said when it comes to the fire department, women have to pass the same physical as men. No, they don't. You want to know why? That standard got lowered. They lowered the standard for the fire department. So the men don't even have to pass the men doesn't even have to pass a physical exam that the men used to have to pass because they lowered it and they made it equality. So everybody, come on now, some of these firemen you see out there, really, No woman is carrying no 200-pound bag, dead weight, fake man up no flight of stairs or down no flight of stairs. No, they're not doing that. The standards for the fire department had to be lowered universally just so it can allow women to get in there, but it made it easier for a lot of men too. So no, they did not. Yeah, you're right. They're passing the same physical exam because that physical exam got lowered. If you know what I'm saying. Let me continue on though. Nice try though, sis.
40%, right? That's the point.
Let me go back a little bit, y'all.
So who benefits the most?
I'm not sure your question. I mean, theoretically, if 40% of all pilots end up being black people or people of color.
But that's not. I actually looked it up. It's only like maybe about 6% of pilots.
Their goal is 40%, right? That's the point. It's like that's actually a great point. So they wanted to go from 6% to 40%. And so you have to wonder, boy, you go from 6% to 40%, there's going to be a relaxing of standards.
Okay, I guess the way let me see if I can rephrase this. So essentially when you talk about DEI, affirmative action, or anything to that effect.
I'm against all of it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that would be fine. The thing is that now it's actually, referenced as a slur against, essentially if you see a black person in a position or, minority or whatever, the assumption is that that person is not qualified when literally, and, you have to be qualified in order to even to get in that position.
Well, so let's take college admissions. So this is a great example. At Harvard, we learned because of new...
Now, let's keep it 100% real. Listen to what this man said, and I want y'all to listen to this because you know me. I'm going to keep it 100% real. Listen to this.
40%. There's going to be a relaxing of standards.
Okay, I guess the way let me see if I can rephrase this. So essentially when you talk about DEI, affirmative action, or anything to that effect.
I'm against all of it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that would be fine. The thing is that now it's actually, referenced as a slur against, essentially if you see a black person in a position or, minority or whatever, the assumption is that that person is not qualified when literally, and, you have to be qualified in order to even to get in that position.
Well,
now, let me keep it real with y'all. Let's keep it real. What the black guy just said, I swear that's Kevin. I swear there's somebody that comes on my panel. What Kevin said is right. For them to become a pilot, he said they have to meet the qualifications and the standards. Right? When it comes to that, unless we have some details showing what the average pilot's supposed to be able to do in order to qualify to fly a plane, if those standards are the same across the board, I get it. But the whole premises is this. If you have them tell you that we're getting ready to hire 40% of brown, black people, non-white people to be pilots, it would make you question, what did they have to do to get it? Not saying that they didn't earn it, not saying that they didn't go through the same type of training or anything like that. But it just say, man, since they just have did they have to do everything else everybody else had to do? Because right now in medicine, I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of standards have been lowered to become doctors. A lot of standards have been lowered to become nurses, therapists. A lot of standards have been lowered because, for one, medicine is losing a lot of people. We are understaffed, like doctors. We are understaffed. Therapists, we are understaffed. Nurses, we are understaffed. We are understaffed in medicine across the board. So what used to be a deal where nurses have to go to school so long to become RNs, and now they're accelerating it. So then it makes you wonder, did those nurses have to go through clinicals? Did they have to do like doctors? Do they have to go through as many hours in residency, as therapists? Do you have to go through many rotations as a therapist? Do you have to go through many clinicals as a nurse now to get up to standards? Or did they lower those clinicals? Did they lower the amount of hours of the hands-on training? Did they lower the amount of time spent in the lab to become a doctor, to become a nurse, to become a nurse practitioner, to become a surgeon, to become any of these things? Did it get lowered because they're understaffed? Now that right there will make you question, hey man, how many hours? That's why the guys, let me say this again too, because this is something that needs to be discussed. Any of you that ever had to have surgery, any of you that ever had to have a doctor do any type of procedure on you, whether it was non-invasive, minimally invasive, or it was you need to be put under anesthesia, right? Did you choose that doctor because he's just a doctor? Did you choose that surgeon because he's a surgeon? if and when you did end up having this doctor that was going to do your surgery, what did you do? You want to find out how many surgeries this doctor done, how successful they are, what are the how do people respond to these surgical procedures post-surgery? How do they respond months down the road? What is the overall efficacy of these patients that have had surgery by you, whether it's a hip replacement, a knee replacement, spine surgery? What is the overall percentage of people that recover and go on to lead good lives from this particular surgery? Or do you just go, I don't care who my doctor is, just do it? Now, because you have questions about the doctor who's about to do something with your body, because you have questions about the doctor that's going to be your OBGYN, because you have doctors that's going to treat you for your sports injury, it does not matter. Don't you want to know if this doctor, number one, is he good? How good is he? Did he get the proper qualification? If you have a nurse, anesthetist, or something like that, don't you want to know, has she ever had any malpractices? Has she ever had anything? Has she ever been to court? What's wrong with asking those questions? Because you are putting your life in somebody's hands. You are putting your body in somebody's hands. So yes, what's wrong with by you having those questions? Does that make you anti-medicine? Does that make you anti-doctor? Does that make you a doctor phobic? Does it make you a nursophobic? Does it make you a therapist phobic? Does it make you any of those things? No, it makes you a normal human being who would have questions of somebody that's about to do something that is about to put your body in their hands. And there's nothing wrong with having questions like that. There's nothing wrong with having questions like that. When I was going through school and everything like that, I just thought it was crazy. Everybody wanted to be in this particular professor's class. Like, hey, this dude class fills up. Why? Because he's the best when it comes to sports medicine. Oh, who? What's his name? Oh, let me get on him. Oh, what? He did what? Let me get on with him. Because this man, yeah, what's wrong with that? My mentor, and he's like, I call him, he's like a father to me. He's like a father to me. Dr. Wendell Becton. Look him up right now, ladies and gentlemen. Look him up right now. This man has been with me since high school. I don't know how good you guys are going to be able to see this picture, but you're going to see a guy making a funny face next to a trophy right here. See that guy right there? Right here. See him right here? It might have blurred out a little bit. I just want to show some proof here. That guy right there. He's right here. Let me use my other hand. This looks weird. That's me right there with the t-shirt on. I mean, with the sweater on. That's me. That's Dr. Becton right there. Okay. Right now, look up Dr. Wendell Becton. This man is the reason why I went the medical route. He's the reason why I got into sports medicine, kinesiology, and all this, right? He was a team physician for the St. Louis Cardinals. If he went to college, became a professor, and taught about sports medicine, everybody would want to flock to Dr. Becton's class because the man is a phenomenal sports medicine doctor. And he reached the pinnacle by being a physician for the St. Louis Cardinals. Right? Now, even with all that being said, if somebody went to Dr. Becton, they will question him too. Like, how good is he in sports medicine? What is his track record? Oh, wait, he was a team physician for the Cardinals for how many years? Oh, yeah, I want that guy. What's wrong with that? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a black man. Now, when you say, why would you want to question the black man? You're not questioning it because he's a black man. You want to question because you want the best. What's wrong with that? Keep rolling.
So let's take college admissions.
You know, essentially, if you see a black person in a position, or minority or whatever, the assumption is that that person is not qualified. When literally, and you have to be qualified in order to even to get in that position.
Well, so let's take college admissions. So this is a great example. At Harvard, we learned because of new revealed documents that black students were having test scores that were 30 to 35% lower than their white counterparts.
Okay.
And so, therefore, if you saw a black kid at Harvard, it's a fact that they were not having the same test standards as their white counterparts.
Still doesn't matter. The kid has to get through. He's got to get through the classes, do the tests, do all the research.
Well, they actually drop out at a greater rate too. But the point being is, just the idea that they were there, number one, took a spot from an otherwise qualified individual that might be white, and they were not there on the same merits. So what we want is the same rules for everybody.
You're making the assumption that they're not qualified in order to get in. In order to even get there,
it's not the assumption. It's the data.
Okay. Y'all been hearing this thus far? Now I want to address something real quick because I like interacting with the crowd. Rock Jeezy TV says, if I'm having surgery and the surgeon specializes in that type of surgery, I don't need a background check. Yeah, okay. You said if you're having surgery and the surgeon specializes in that type of surgery, you don't need a background check. Yeah, you playing a dangerous game with your body. You said, but to question someone because they are black is wrong. No, listen to this. And I know what you said. There's nothing wrong with it, but just because to question them because they're black is wrong. If you find out, and I just gave a nice little example, Rock, but to question someone because they're black is wrong, isn't it? Okay. Jeezy TV. Let me give you, Rock Jeezy, let me give you an example right here. Who's known for cooking? Y'all, Rocky Jeezy, I hope you answer honestly. Rock Jeezy, who's known for cooking sweet potato pies, collard greens, chitlins, fried chicken, the catfish, the fried okra, the soul food? Who's known for cooking that? I knew it. Yeah, you gave me the politically correct answer. You gave the political, but you are urban Southern cookie. Thanks for being honest. Why? See what I'm saying? You had a chance. But you know what? I'm gonna let you slide with that. Rock Jeezy. Let me ask you another question. Who's known for tacos, fajitas? Huh? Who's known for those gorditas? Huh? Who's known for chimichangas and tamales? Hispanics, because it's part of their culture. Wait, so you would call out Hispanic? You would say Hispanics, but you don't want to say blacks when it comes to soul food? Because you said it's Southern? Really? You don't want to say blacks? Oh, because if you say blacks, then what? You're going to be like Charlie Kirk? You might be called a racist because you said that those foods, when it comes to chitlins, collard greens with turkey necks in them, huh? When it comes to fried chicken, fried and in lard, they say the best fried chicken is Korean. Koreans say they got the fried chicken recipes and how they learn to do it from blacks. So they can come out and say it, but you don't want to say it. Now, if you, Jeezy, and this is the last question I'm going to ask you before we get back into it. Jeezy, if you walked into a Mexican restaurant and you saw the palest of the palest white people who talk just like this, like, yeah, we're going to cook some tacos, we're going to cook burritos, and we're going to cook gorditas, we're going to cook some tamales. Oh, yeah, we have good margaritas in our. If you saw a restaurant that was Mexican, you went in there and it says Mexican Grill. You went in there and you seen nothing but all the palest, so clear white people. What would you think? Y'all, watch what he say. They're probably white people that grew up in Mexico. Keep it real. You walk up in a Chinese restaurant and you see a whole bunch of Negroes that look like me in there. You come in there like, what's up, man? You want some of that General Soul chicken, bruh? You come up in a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant full of black people, everybody black, and it's a Chinese restaurant. You're telling me you're not going to go, wait a minute now. Did they go to school for Chinese cuisine and Chinese culinary? You're not going to question that. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna think that those black people, they grew up in China and they come on, man. Don't just stop. You think you're gonna walk up in a Chinese restaurant full of Negroes and you're gonna go in there and go, hey, how are you doing? Come to a restaurant. I'm black, but I come from the island of Negro in the Philippines. Yeah, I'm black. We cook food for you. Come on now. Stop it. Stop it, Rock. Y'all, let's get back to the video. You stop.
Merits. So what we want is the same rules for everybody.
You're making the assumption that they're not qualified in order to get in. In order to even get
merits. So what we want is the same rules for everybody.
You're making the assumption that they're not qualified in order to get in. In order to even get there,
it's not the assumption. It's the data. So for example, it's literally at Harvard, you had kids with perfect SAT scores, perfect ACT scores that were white.
So that makes a degree from Harvard worthless then.
Well, you're exactly right. Yeah, actually, Harvard's degree is becoming more worthless because it's more race-based than merit-based. You're exactly right.
Okay, now we talked enough about that. Okay, so in the past, you made statements about black privilege. So can you explain that to me and what it is? And
yeah, of course. I mean, it's easier for a black person to get into college than a white person. You get with lower test scores. It's called affirmative action.
Okay, so that's been so college admissions has been affirmative action for college admissions has been struck down.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'll give you another example. What percentage of TV commercials have black people versus white people?
I'm not sure about that, but
about
white 40, people are also in commercials.
About 40. Well, this is important. About 40 to 50% of all network TV commercials have a person of color right now. What percentage of America is a person of color?
At least for black people, I know we're about 13%.
Yeah, it's about so 13% of the population, nearly half of all the TV commercials.
White people are still in the commercials.
Yes, but underrepresented as proportional, though. The point being, I can give you another example. Easier to get corporate jobs. There are entire departments that are dedicated to just try and expand racial quotas.
You know what would really have fixed this from the beginning had you not had, all the... So why do we have DI in the first place? Because this is the problem that creates. So why was DI necessary in the first place? Or at least the government thought it was necessary in the first place.
Why do I think that it was...
No, why would the government...
Do you want my well-intentioned explanation or the...
Whatever you got.
I mean, DEI was obviously about trying to destroy the excellence of the country and elevate racial tribal politics.
What did he say that was wrong right there? What did he say was wrong right there? He said of America. Did he say they're trying to undercut white people right here? Did he say that? Well, he did say that about white people earlier. No. He's referring to college. He said into college. There were white people, and be honest, it was the Asian people who kicked everybody's butt. There's Asian people that got denied college. They whooped white people's butt. They whooped black people butt. They whooped Indian butts in their test scores, and they didn't get in because the college had to fill a quota. How fair is that? Isn't that discrimination? Wait, so Chinese person come up. And y'all know I'm just keeping it real. This is not generalizing it, but a lot of people from China and the Chinese family, Chinese Americans, they are big on their studies. They are huge on their studies. And can you imagine? You've been having your child all day long and all the time, making sure they're great. They acing a lot of stuff, acing everything. And then they get denied going to college because somebody got put in front of them because that person is a different color. Y'all don't believe what I'm telling you right now. Y'all can go on YouTube right now, look up a video about a Chinese man who lied on his application. He said that he was black. He lied on his application and got into college. The college didn't even care they didn't even try to see and confirm that he was even black. He put on his application that he was black and he got in, and his other Asian friends didn't. And they had scores that was out off the charts. So how fair is that you get to get in college solely because you're black, while someone else who has way better test scores than you do don't get in? It's not about a color thing, but this bull crap that a lot of people ride on of, well, we got to be represented. Who told y'all that? We got to be represented in all facets of colleges. What? Who told you that? So, in other words, what you want me to be told is that we're not smart enough? You telling me every black person that got into Harvard wasn't smart enough, but they only got in there because of affirmative action lowered the standards? All of them? No, absolutely not. There are black people that got in Harvard who had excellent scores. There are black people that got in Harvard that are superiorly smart and very intelligent that got into Harvard. There are black people that got into all sorts of Ivy League schools solely based off of a merit because they earned it through their intellect. They earned it through their education. They earned it because they were top of their class. But then you got some people in there They barely even had the test scores to make it into a college. I'm not talking about a university. I'm talking about your basic state college or something like that. They barely could even get into those, but yet Harvard, Stanford, these other Ivy League schools, they allowed them to get in there based off of their color. So what does that say to the person? And that's why the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action, because affirmative action was being discriminative against those that qualified for it based off of a race. And then you want to talk about racism. How's that not racism to the Asian people? How's it not racism to white people? How's it not racism to Indians? How's that not racist to them because other folks got to get in because of their skin color? How's that not racist? But I mean, we should know you should be able to qualify like everybody else. Oh my God. So y'all saying I'm popping again? I'm popping again. Let me do something here. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get a little loud, and y'all let me know. I'm going to get super loud and let me know if it's popping again, okay? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Was that choppy and poppy? Let me know real quick before I go on, because I don't want to keep on going in and it's doing this. So when I got, well, okay, when I'm talking like I am right now without getting really loud, like right now, the level that I'm talking at right now, is it still popping? 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, what if I turn it this way? Am I still popping? Because I don't want it to be doing any of those things. I want it to be good. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing, come with me. Hail Mary, brother, one quick C. Okay, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done it yet. I'm gonna see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, well, maybe I need to talk like this and lower my voice a little bit more, but that way it won't be popping. Maybe you just need to talk at a regular pace. I wonder if that's going to do it. Let's see. I don't know what's guys. I really don't know why it's even doing what it's doing right now. I do know YouTube is good for doing things like this, but let me see something here again one more time. I'm going to keep it right here. Okay, I'm gonna keep it right there for right now. Now, anyway, I'm getting ready to get back to the video, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let me get back to it again.
Okay, so why was DEI necessary in the first place, or at least the government thought it was necessary in the first place?
Why do I think that it was?
No, why would the government?
Do you want my well-intentioned explanation or the?
Whatever you got.
I mean, DEI was obviously about trying to destroy the excellence of the country and elevate racial tribal politics.
Okay, so if you don't have the racism, right, and then you'll need that program. So you eradicate the racism, and that eliminates the need for any kind of program.
No, but if you have excellence, you're going to find the
that
best.
tries to take people and put them in place because they're minorities.
You want the best in everything. So let me just ask a final question, okay? If you were about to board a United Airlines flight from Tallahassee to Atlanta, and you find out the airline pilot says, "Hey, everybody, I'm a pilot. I was hired because of diversity. Let's have a great flight." Would that make you feel good or not so good?
No, but I know he's still got to be qualified in order to fly that aircraft.
But he said, "I was hired because of diversity," and you're like,
you still got to meet the standards in order to get into the cockpit.
well,
Now let's keep it real. That's a fair point. He said you still got to meet the standards.
again, we know because air traffic controllers and many others, they relax those standards. When you have a surgeon,
You're saying that, but look, you're not. It does not make sense. It's irresponsible. Not only to say that, but to actually put unqualified people in risk lives.
But we know that's actually happening every day, and that's why it doesn't make sense. But racial quotas end up mattering more than excellence. When I go in for surgery, I want my surgeon to be the best surgeon, and here's where we can.
And I had no idea he was going to say that. That's kind of interesting, though. That I use that same exact analogy.
I would agree with that.
We
Yes.
want a merit-based society, not a race-based society.
I say we should have started that way from the beginning, but at any rate, then the last thing, I don't want to hog the mic, but I'll just say
That's
this
fine.
last thing. So you talked about, black fathers, absentee and all this other stuff and everything else. I actually agree. Okay, more fathers in the home and everything else. That's wonderful stuff. The thing is that you also said, and I'm looking at some of your stuff previous, that there's a system in place that actually incentivizes women to make babies without husbands.
It's a
right?
great society.
Take that away,
I
and
agree.
then that problem essentially goes away.
I agree.
Now, I would ask this question also.
He said he agrees. Yeah. Right. Hold on. Wait a minute. He said the Great Society. He said take that away. Charlie Kirk said I agree. What happened when President Trump said, you know what? President Trump, we're doing something new. A lot of people are not going to like it. Any of those adults that are on SNAP benefits, you're on SNAP benefits. If you have no disabled conditions, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to volunteer. You're not just going to be sitting around getting any type of SNAP benefits. No food stamps for you. How old are you? You can work. You're going to work. You're not getting it free anymore. Look what happened. Folks came out making videos snapping out. I can't believe Trump is taking away food stamps. I can't believe you're on the taxpayers' money. It's not your money. Yeah. Y'all know what would happen? God forbid. Am I frozen or something? Because all of a sudden the chat just froze. Yeah, I think I'm frozen a little bit, y'all. The chat froze. Anyway, my point in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, is you imagine? Yeah, see, some said frozen. Okay, some said frozen, some said not. Okay, so can you imagine the Great Society? Do you imagine if they took those things away? My God, black people, how dare we have to meet the same standards as everybody else? To be honest with you, yeah, Leon, I'm live. To be honest with you, I think it's actually an insult. It is a complete insult it should be an insult to our intelligence that they say, hey, for black people, we got to lower the standards in order for them to get in. You know what? Let me do this real quick since you guys are liking this Trump thing. You know what would change the whole game up? Wouldn't y'all love it if President Trump came out and go, you know what? I'm sorry, Supreme Court. I want you to put affirmative action back into place because the black people, they cannot get into colleges. They're not smart enough. The black people are not intelligent enough. They need to have the standards lowered because God knows all of their brains have gone away since pre-slavery, post-slavery. We know their brains are gone. They cannot get into any type of colleges. We know they have to have affirmative action. Black people are not smart. They're not intelligent. They're all just thugs and criminals. And to be quite honest, I wish they would go back to Africa because the only thing they're contributing right now is a bunch of nothingness, whining, crying. Oh, God, I want reparations. Reparations. You're not going to get it anyway, but they want something free. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to work for it at all. They just want everything free. They want to get into college free. They want their tuition to be free. They want food stamps. What more can we give the black people? Y'all would lose your minds. You wouldn't even have to worry about no more snipers anymore. They just going to try to air him out across the whole board. He wouldn't be able to go nowhere. Only if Trump said it, though, right? Only if Trump said it. Because basically, black folks, that's what they're doing. Do you not understand the overall message? They are literally saying black people are not good enough, so we got to do this. Black people are not smart enough, so we got to let, I know the ACT score was horrible. We got to let some black people in there because we got to show that black people are in Harvard. Yeah, I know that black people are not but we got to come on now. They are already at a disadvantage. They were born at a disadvantage because they're not the smartest people, although they built this country. You see the architecture of Washington, D.C. Black people did that. You see this? Black people did that. You see that right there? Black people did that. But we need to lower the standards in order for the black people to get into colleges because they're not smart enough. Anybody might be disagreeing with this? Are you not connecting the dots right there? Do you see the overall message? In medicine, right? You can move up, especially like in the position I'm in. If you want to get into any type of position where it's like administration, directing, department head, things like that of the sort, you got to have certain qualifications. You got to have certain credentials and certain amount of experience. Years ago, before I stopped being a clinician, right? And I actually wanted to be a director. I applied for it. I didn't get it. I had folks. I let friends know. I let some family members know. And when it happened, oh man, see, man, they can't have no black dude like you up there, man, showing them out. You man, dude, look at all what you've done, man. Look at your accomplishments, man. Oh man, dude, your resume is crazy, dude. Look at that. And they won't even let you in there, because you black, man. They can't have no black man being up like that. And then look at the cabinet. There ain't no black people up there right now. Look, that's what I'm saying, man. They can't have you up there. That's what a lot of people said to me. Guess what? The board that I presented this to, when I went to them and I didn't get the position, they went with somebody else. I knew a lot of the people that was in higher positions in administration already, right? I knew a lot of them. I went to a few of them and just said, hey, can I ask you a question? What would make me more qualified for that position? Okay, Ty. They was like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, it has nothing to do with you being young, da-da-da. They said, but he has like 10 years of experience in what you would be hired in. When he gets hired in, Ty, he can hit the job rolling. It's not going to take hardly no training. The only thing he needs to learn is the computer systems, but he already knows this, that. He knows about that. He knows about this. And that's why we roll with him. So they said, if you can get more experience in these things right here, it's going to make you better qualified for it. Guess what I did? I didn't go back and go, oh, shoot, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. They didn't hire me because I'm black. No, they told me the amount of experience and how much better he was than me based off of what his experience was in things that they would have to train me in. I would have to be trained in their analytics, how they run the analytics to look at financials. I would have to be trained in how to run these certain meetings when it comes in regards to them looking at financials. I would have to be trained those things. This man had already been doing those things for 15 years. They rolled with him because of that. It was 5 of us, and I ended up being like the top 4 out of those 5. I was ranked number 4, but I wanted to know the man that got the job. I wanted to know what did he have. I didn't care about number 3 or number 2. I wanted to know what the top guy had on me, because whatever the top guy had on me, I need to go do homework. That way, if I come back and try for it again, I want to be where that dude is. So I went back treating, right? But at the same time, I made sure that I got this experience off on the side, right? Years down the road, I applied for a director's position. And yet here I am. Oh, that's because, yeah, no. And at the same time, do you know how insulted I would feel if somebody hired me into a position because of my skin color? I don't want this job. You hired me because I'm black. I don't want this job. You know how humiliating that is? And not only that, the position that I'm in right now between Chi-Town, St. Louis, Nashville, Florida, man, Ty is awesome. He is great. Look at this. Cards being left by other clinicians, cars being left by doctors, cars being left by pediatricians, cars being left by nurses, cars being left by patients. This guy is on it. He is very good at this. Man, look at the growth. Look at the financial growth. He's serious about it. Dude, you got a high standard, man. You are you Ty, dude. I went in and I took care of business. Increase the financials. Increase the financials. Looking for other rural areas where we can actually put a facility there for the people that don't have proper medical treatment. Looking for places where we can put it in these rural open areas, these farm areas and things like that, where the nearest hospital is like 30 miles away. Being able to put a emergency clinic there and then doing something there, building out, resourcing out, networking out. Oh, no, man. See nothing. Don't use this stuff as an excuse. Let's go on a little bit more, y'all.
What percent of black men do you think are abandoning their homes right now?
Well, we know that it's actually 60 to 70%.
Okay, then you'd actually be wrong, because the CDC actually submitted a report in 2023 that says 54% of black men don't even have children.
But that's
54%.
Those are two different numbers, man. I'm talking about those that impregnate.
Okay. Well, most black men are actually producing children within the construct of marriage.
I'm talking about just the kids.
So you're saying black men are getting married and then leaving their families?
Not getting married. That's the problem.
No, they're not getting married, dude. No, they ain't getting married. Ain't no black men hardly getting married.
I'm saying is the data. I'm saying 2 out of 3 black men impregnate women and don't stay with them.
Sir, I'm telling you that 54% of black men, according to the CDC study 2023 National Health Statistics Reports, literally says that 54% don't even have children.
I know.
What? I get what he was trying to do. 54% of black men don't have children. But let's do a little bit of math here. If there are 100 black men, 54% of those black men don't have children. What does that leave you with? That leaves you with 46 black men that have children. I don't understand how he. I think I'm certain that's my man Ken. Ken comes on my panels a lot of times. I don't understand how that was hard to understand. Half of black men don't have kids. Half black men do have kids. Of the black men, let's just say 50-50. 50% don't have kids, 50% do have kids. 2/3 out of that 50% leave. I think he might have been a little confused on that one, though. I mean, that's the way I'm reading it. Shout out to him, though, for actually standing up and having the will to get up there and speak on it.
That's a complete different stat. Everyone knows what I'm saying and not what you're saying. That's a complete different. That's like so. What I'm saying is that if you have a black child, which obviously exists for some reason, right? Somebody did something to make that black baby.
Okay.
2 out of 3 times, the dad will not be around. Fact. Done.
All right.
Yeah, it's only out of. Thank you. The statistics are actually out of only those who have kids.
So you got black men who are married also. They're not abandoning their children and families at high rates.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the vast majority of black babies are born out of wedlock with abandoned fathers.
Okay, so let's do this. Now, if that's bad for black babies,
it's bad for everybody.
So then
what? Charlie, hold on now. Whoa, now, whoa, Charlie. Whoa, Charlie. Did he just say that's bad for everybody? Well, Charlie Kirk only talks about black people. Charlie Kirk didn't bring up the black people statistic. Charlie Kirk sits there and this is what people get mixed up all the time, because they always say, if you say Charlie Kirk always talk about black people, Charlie Kirk is not the one that's bringing the topic. People are coming up and asking Charlie Kirk the question. Trust me, I've been there, guys. I've been with these and been in this thing. Y'all saw the video that I did with him. People are coming up and bringing the subject to him. If Charlie Kirk goes on campus and every person on the campus is asking questions about trans-related stuff or gay-related stuff, Charlie Kirk is going to answer those questions that those people have. And if all you see are clips of Charlie Kirk responding to trans stuff, you're going to say all he do is talk about trans. All he do is talk about gays. Charlie Kirk has people from Turning Point USA that goes through the crowd. There's a line, okay? There's a group of people that's there to hear the argument. Then there's a line that they have over there for people that have a question for Charlie Kirk. The people that are in that line, they are being asked questions or they're being screened by the Turning Point USA workers. The Turning Point USA workers will go through the crowd of people that are in line to ask them a question. They'll say, hey, what question do you have for Charlie Kirk? And they'll say, oh, I want to ask Charlie Kirk about da-da-da-da-da. They will move you to the front of the line. Because if everybody, and let's just say, for example, if the first 10 people only got questions about trans-related stuff, his workers will want to go to somebody that might have a question different. What else do y'all have besides trans stuff? If there's a person want to ask a question about race, like this man right here, if there's a person that has a question about DEI stuff, he has crowd workers that screen people that want to have a diverse amount of questions to Charlie Kirk. But people take these clips that they see of Charlie Kirk talking about DEI or this and that and the third with black people or something like that, and they think that's all he talks about. No, it's not. So I just want to make that clear.
I'm saying that the vast majority of black babies are born out of wedlock with abandoned fathers.
Okay, so let's do this. Now, if that's bad for black babies,
it's bad for it's bad for everybody.
So
bad for everybody.
Shouldn't that be your main line then?
It is actually. Everywhere I go, I
no,
talk about
when
dads.
you do it, you kind of focus on black men as if somehow we're the only ones that, that's part of that problem.
Well, no, it is a black men abandonment issue, of course. I mean, would you agree that's probably the biggest issue facing black America is lack of dads?
It's one of the issues.
Okay, what is the biggest issue?
Right.
I don't know. I haven't kind of thought
That's
about
fine.
that.
I want you to think about it over the next couple of days. We as conservatives believe
because we got a lot of problems. But
the breakdown of family, we believe, is the original sin of what's happening. We think
Fact.
that truth transcends color. It's true for white people, black people, Asians, Hispanics. Final thought.
Okay, fine. Good question. Good conversation. That's just my thing is when I hear you talk about it, it seems like you're framing it improperly, and then people are here saying that I'm doing it improperly. But I'm a black man in America. I know something about it.
I'm just offering you grace. I'm not saying that your number is wrong. Just saying that it's a statistic that wasn't necessarily relevant to what I was saying. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was a nice civil discourse. That's how people talk. What y'all just saw right there, that exchange, that's an exchange I've had with people several times that I work with, people from church, people that recognize who I am when I'm out and about, and they say, hey, when you made this comment on your channel, man, da-da-da. We've had discourse like that. We've had talk, and it ends good. We'll shake hands. Wait, you know what? There's things I talk about on my channel that a lot of people don't agree with. I don't mind having this conversation with you over this because my job is not to sit there and shame you or one-up you or aha you or anything like that. But what in that conversation right there of people that claiming that Charlie Kirk is racist and all this and that Charlie Kirk only talk about black people, where did you see that at? Because he made it clear. He says it's bad across the board, but it is a issue with black people. So this is what I always tell people when it comes in regards to medicine. Why is it that when you say, hey, Ty, what is one of the top issues of black people when it comes to health? If I say high blood pressure, diabetes, that is one of the biggest things that just is a killer amongst black people. Would you get pissed off at me because I brought out one of the top things that black people are being killed by medicinally? Would you be pissed off at me because I told you that? No, but it seemed like that's all you talk. Why wouldn't I address the number one thing that is the foundation of the reason why there is a breakdown of the family? When you think about breakdown, think about a building. A building is broken down, and the Bible clearly talks about a reason why a building falls is because of the foundation. Jesus taught that all. If you build it on a rock, this would happen. If you build it on sand, this would happen. If you build it on this ground, this what would happen. It all is about the foundation. So even though there are a number of things among black people, I want to get to the number one root cause from the beginning. I want to get to the root cause. I want to get to the foundation. And if I get to that foundation and I fix that foundation, anything I build on that, even if I build something on that foundation that is not the best, when that falls down, at least the foundation still stands and I can rebuild. I can reconstruct. I can bring up new ideas, but that foundation is still going to be there. So why not address the foundation instead of going, well, we got this problem too. We got that problem too, but that's not your number one issue. It's with white people too. Didn't say it's not, but it's not a white people's number one issue of the issues that they have amongst white people. All y'all keep on saying is, and the CDC shows that black fathers are the most involved. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I would urge each and every one of you to do your research and look at what black people were doing post-slavery all the way up to the civil rights movement. It will blow your mind. Look at what black people were doing post-slavery, the late 1800s, all the way up to the 1940s and 50s. Look what black people were doing. It will blow your mind. You will be like, wait, why isn't that part taught? Why isn't that part taught in history? The way that black people increased in being doctors and pharmacists and lawyers and teachers and shoemakers, owning their own stores. Black people end up becoming a point to where black people were featured in a magazine, and it was called Black People or African, the black community are the new middle class. What? Why isn't that talked about? Why isn't that just skipped over? This is before Lyndon B. Johnson. This is before the Great Society. Why is it that everybody wants to skip over how black people increased in 100% plus in these different occupations when it was legal to be racist, when it was, legal to be discriminative when it comes to jobs, when there was segregation, when it was lawful for you not to hire black people? You were able to discriminate, and yet black people still end up being called the new middle class of America. 70% of all fathers were in the home. And the great majority of single mothers amongst black people was only because the father died. You heard me? Don't believe me. Go and look it up. The great majority of single moms post-slavery up to the 1940s and 50s among black women, the great majority of them was only because their husband died, working in wherever they worked in these factories, whatever, the husband died. But it wasn't because black men were just impregnating women, I don't know what they called them back then, jive turkeys. The Pookies and Ray Rays of the late 1800s all the way up to 1940s, they were jive turkeys. They weren't the Pookie and Ray Rays. They were just jive turkeys. That's what they were. But no, that's what I'm saying. Nobody in education, in school, they never want to talk about that period. Martin Luther King comes along, and boy, y'all, shout out to my guy, Chaz. I highly recommend y'all go check out my guy because he has opened up a huge rabbit hole for me to go down in regards to MLK. And I'm about to catch hate for that, but it does not matter because I catch hate all the time and I feed off of it. I know all the stuff is going to come with me in regards to, calling me the names and everything like that. I know y'all are getting ready to line up with y'all triggered stuff and calling me the Uncle Toms and the all that. And I'm ready for it because all the Uncle Tom tears goes right in this cup right here, and I drink it, and it actually what feeds and fuels me. So the more I keep doing this, the more you're going to keep crying your Uncle Tom and your insult tears, and I drink it. It's nutrition for my body. So please keep on hating. I feed off of hate. I drink it. I eat it. It is nutrition for my spirit. It lets me know that I'm doing the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. All the you trying to say I'm cooning, all the porch Negro, house Negro, tap dance for the white man, want to be white and all that stuff. Just keep on doing that because it lets me know I'm doing the right thing. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button before y'all get out of here. Double check and make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel. And y'all all know how I like to end all of my videos, no matter if you agree with me or not. I do wish everybody a farewell. And with all that being said, y'all know what I always say? What do I always say, people? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I say it like at the end of like all my videos. Nobody knows? tie. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I end my videos all the same. I'm Ty Smith, moderator. You guys have food, shelter, and clothing, and most of all, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.